Hey guys, week 2 of Devil's Talk. If you're wondering who I am, I'm not Cam Kelly. He's away sunning himself on a beach somewhere nice this week. It's alright for some, isn't it? So instead, you've got to put up with me, Tim John. And I'm joined, well, it's very lovely to be joined in the studio by Brent Pope from the Cardiff Devils. How you doing, Brent?
Very well. Good morning and good to be here.
It is good to be here. It's a sunny day in Cardiff, and I would have hoped this morning that the news would have been a little bit cheerier. But the result last night, so this is Thursday we're talking now, the result Wednesday night in your pre-season friendly with Coventry didn't quite go the way that you were hoping, no.
No, the guys dropped a game last night, 7-3 in Coventry. I was fortunate enough to see it firsthand, went up with Neil Francis, the bench coach, and Paul Reagan was there, and probably a pretty good contingent of fans that went up to watch it in a mid-season friendly too, or midweek early season friendly. But Coventry looked pretty good, and we looked like a team that needs to just sort of make sure we're a little bit sharper as we go into the weekend. But I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about. It's just one of those things that made the performance didn't go our way, and Coventry were a little bit sharper on the night.
But let's not stay negative, because look, we've just completed a massive, well, the Festival of Hockey last weekend. I mean, there aren't enough adjectives to describe it. Massive, phenomenal, spectacular. I was fortunate enough to be in the arena for the Legends game on Sunday afternoon, seeing you guys out on the ice. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps now just talking about it now. What a game.
Well, you know, the thing is, it is so tough just to get the season started as it is, considering our summer and all the interruptions that we've had, let alone bringing in a whole Legends team and then obviously hosting Sheffield, them doing the same and putting on that whole weekend. Logistically, it's a challenge just to start with that. But, you know, getting past that, it was great because we were able to win our home game. We were able to win that 6-4. We lost up in Sheffield 7-3. But in order to showcase in front of your own fans, you know, you get to put on a good performance, a competitive one. And I think there was enough on the bone there for everybody who came along to enjoy it and say, you know, that was a worthwhile event, a great event, and unique. You know, it's never been done before. It was the first of its kind as far as having that sort of testimonial, friendly atmosphere against old and the young from both clubs playing against each other at the same time. And, you know, for whatever it wasn't, it certainly was. I mean, I think we're very proud of it. And I think as we move away from it, as time goes by, we'll look back and realize just how sweet it was.
Let's look at the elite team then, who also played last weekend, another couple of pre-season games. A loss up in Sheffield, a draw down in Cardiff. Again, then you put that together with last night's loss. What are you going to be working on with them to try and stop those kind of results from sort of happening now as we go into the league properly?
I think the guys are fine. I think that last night's probably a good leveler because it reminds you there's still a lot of work to do and there's a lot to get right. And as much as the team, I think, looks pretty solid and has pretty good depth and quality, it's always a work in progress. And regardless of great success as we had last year and the anticipation of success again this year because we've got a better lineup than maybe we thought we were going to have, you're still always working away at trying to get things right. And little small things can open up and end up looking pretty bad in the 7-3 scoreline. But, you know, this weekend, all of a sudden, you go up and have a result against Nottingham, and that all changes.
And your guys are hungry for it. I mean, they're a good team this year. So
I think so. I think they're young. I think they're big, and I think they've got enough elements of everything. I think that it's just like most things, is attention to detail. And I think that, you know, a couple of guys probably need to bring their A game and get that moving forward. But I think it's a timing thing, and I think it's just finding that combination, finding that right feel amongst their teammates. And, you know, I think excuses will start to be removed for this weekend if we don't come up with the performance that we know we're capable of.
A lot of the press are calling the game against the Panthers this weekend, or the games against the Panthers this weekend, a tough start for the Cardiff Devils. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's are they a tough start? I mean, they're a formidable presence. I've myself have seen the Nottingham Panthers in action. It's always a very lively game when anyone meets the Panthers, really, whether it's the Devils or the Steelers or the Blaze or anyone else. But is it a tough match?
Well, I think they're a good team. They're always expected to be a good team. They've got a good budget. They're able to assemble a good team or assemble a good roster of players. Whether or not they're as good a team over the course of the season, well, it remains to be seen. But, you know, give Nottingham credit. Last year they beat us in the playoff finals, and they found a way when we were up 3-1. They ended up winning the game 5-4. So that's a painful memory for our particular team and experiences against Nottingham most recently. And then, you know, they also found a way to win the Challenge Cup as well. So there was a team that was underperforming all year. We were performing better in the league, and they went away with 2 titles. And at the end of the day, what do you hang your hat on most? You hang your hat on titles and championships. And so they ended up finishing all right. So they're much the same. They're structured the same as their head coach. bench coach as well, Rick Strachan, head coach, player coach, Corey Nielsen. So they still have that same personality, same identity. And I think that, they're always difficult for us to go up there. It's a bigger ice sheet. It's a bigger building. And they are expected to do well. They're expected to perform. It's their showcase opener. It's our first game on the road. That's difficult. And then if you don't quite have it go the way you want, then you've got it all on your shoulders to come back here on Sunday in Cardiff and make sure you get the results. So Saturday's key for both clubs. And if Cardiff can go up there as the underdogs and get something from that game, it makes Sunday a lot easier and a lot easier breathing.
All right, so Cam was talking about this guy last week, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome into the studio Sam Smith. How you doing, Sam?
Good. It's good to be here.
Number 11 shirt, Cardiff born, Cardiff bred. Well, Penarth.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same difference. And quite a legend, Cam was saying last week, Brent. I think the first question's got to be, and you'll forgive me for this, Sam, forget about Gavin Henson being the bachelor at the moment in the rugby. Are you, Sam Smith, the most eligible bachelor in South Wales?
At the moment, I'm going to have to say no.
Oh.
No.
Anything you want to share with the Devils fans?
No. It's, no.
Is it a work in progress?
It's a work in progress, yeah. At the moment, it's going pretty well, and I'll let you know in a few weeks, maybe.
All right, that's fine. We'll hold you to that. You know that.
Okay,
so you can't make a promise like that without.
He's focused. He's a focused young man. It's good to hear.
I like it. You guys have got him.
Secrecy.
Trained well. Now, Brent and I have talked already about the Festival of Hockey last weekend and the legends. For you, your heritage in this area and the fact that you're playing for the Cardiff Devils elite team. What was it like for you seeing those guys?
It was incredible, really. They came out. I think they played on the Friday or was it on the Saturday? And they came out and practiced with us during the week. We had Vez out there and John Lawless and Shannon Hope, and just to train with those guys was a bit surreal for myself. Growing up watching those guys play, and it was pretty cool to just practice, shoot a few pucks to them, and they still got it. Vez still looks real good out there. He's still got the moves, and
fantastic.
It's good to hear it, because you talked about getting goosebumps there beforehand, and I just got them now, Tim, because it's emotional. It's a big part of all these guys' lives. And when I spoke to Vezi on the Friday night reception, Vezi's wife's from Wales, and his kids were born in Wales.
Yeah.
And you just can't help but when you get back all together again and you're on that same page, just be reminded of just how much has happened as a result of these guys' experience playing for this club, and then to see the guys coming in after us. It's a great legacy. It's exciting, a very proud moment, I think, for everybody.
And speaking of legacy, of course, you've had a good couple of seasons with the Devils now, and 4 new players, is it, this year, Brent? And are you the man that everyone wants to know? Are you the guy that the new players turn to for advice on, I don't know, where to get a good bit of food late at night, or maybe a beer, or actually, should I say gym and a protein shake, and various other bits and bobs? Are you kind of yeah, absolutely. Are you that sort of guy that everyone's leaning on because of your kind of local knowledge?
I think being a younger guy, no, not as such. I think Stevie Lyle's more the guy they turn to. He's been around the place for a lot longer than I have, and he knows all the best places to get a good protein shake and a good cup of coffee and stuff. Yeah. But no, I help the guys out if they need to know anything. I think we had Jeff Pierce and Frank the Tank when they came one of the first days they were down. They went down the bay, and I think they got lost on the way home, so they had a phone call off them asking how to get home, and it's just it's more the beginning of the year, and then I find by the end of the year they're telling you where to go, kind of thing. So they figure it out for themselves real quick.
What's the feeling in the team about this season? Is it going to be a good one?
Yeah, G and Franny have done a good job of keeping a core group of guys together, and coming away with no trophies last year, and I think there's a good sense in the room now that that we've got a lot of unfinished business to do, and I think keeping the good core guys together, we've still got that feeling, which is an important thing. So we're going out there every night, and we feel like we've got something to prove in the sense that we didn't win anything last year. And last night as well. You see, we went, we were still in first gear last night, and I think that's another good thing about keeping a good core of guys together. Everyone knows everyone's got more to give. Everyone knows that there's more to come, and I think there's a lot to be expected from the team, and I think it's going to be a good year. The guys look great out there, and the team's looking good, and I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to be right up there again this year.
There's a prediction right there. Let's hope it's true.
No, I think they're more than capable of doing it. I think last night they underperformed. They know that, and you don't need
Sorry,
to.
can I say he's slurping his coffee in case anyone's wondering what that noise is. He's
we got back
slurping
late
his.
last night. I'm struggling.
Carry on.
He's got 4 sugars in there too. He says he needs enough of that to keep him going for today. But no, they got there's a good team there, and the key to I think any trying to win the long-term race is just keep level with the highs and the lows. Keep it on an even keel. Because if you get too disappointed with a result that maybe wasn't what your best was, then you're not ready to go out and get that next win. You should be able to win too. So it's okay. I think the guys are fine. I don't think we need to dwell too much on it. I just think it just sharpens our pencils and makes sure we're a little bit more on cue for the weekend. But there is a good team, and I think the nucleus of guys still staying over and staying on from last year that had that incredible, Guinness Book of World Records streak of 22 professional consecutive wins. That same nucleus of guys are in that room, and they knew what it felt like, and they knew what it felt like to be in the hunt all year. And they will not allow themselves to fall out of that race because it's so much more enjoyable, your hockey, when you're right in the hunt of things.
Do we get to the stage where we're going to put a prediction on this weekend? It's the Panthers, like we've already said. It's a big game. It's a tough challenge. But hey, what game isn't a tough challenge? We're at the start of the Elite League competition. I mean, are we going to put a prediction on it? What do we think? Is that tempting fate a little bit too much?
Well, I think it's challenging because we haven't seen Nottingham yet. But the one thing Franny said to me on the way home after the coaches for Nottingham watched the game last night, and he says, "Well, there was one good thing out of tonight. We didn't show them much." And so they might be leaving that building last night thinking as though, oh, geez, we don't need to worry about Cardiff too much because they haven't quite got it in their bag or in their locker this year. But we'll show up on Saturday and be ready to go in Nottingham. But it's one of those things. I mean, this is a show that's going out ahead of the weekend, and no doubt Nottingham fans will be listening to it too. And I used to play for the Nottingham Panthers and spent 5 years of my life there too. And we got full respect for them, and they did a good job, and they finished out the season strong. But they're always a team that there's always question marks, just how much of a team they're going to be. And I suspect that we'll go up and we'll push them. But we're both going to be in a range all year, and it's just going to be it's going to come down probably some goaltending. It's going to come down to just how well and how focused the teams can be. And that's yet to be seen, isn't it?
And Simon, for you guys and the team, when you're sort of faced with these teams every weekend, are there any teams that you sort of think, oh no, like they're really going to be hard work? Is it like Nottingham more than Sheffield? Is it it's Braehead? I don't really worry about them. What's your sort of general feeling about playing the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, well, like Brent said, I mean, we haven't seen them this year as such. I mean, you get a good sense from you look at guys who they've recruited and you look at the numbers they put up in other leagues and. Nottingham's always a tough place to go play. I mean, it's big ring, a lot of people behind them, and it's always tough to get going up there. I mean, last year we had pretty good success up there. I mean, I think we came away with quite a few points from that rink. I think guys enjoy playing there. I think it's a bigger stage, because they probably get about 6,000-7,000 people up there, and it's a bigger stage. I think guys enjoy that in our team, which is a good thing about our team. Guys enjoy the bigger stage and. I mean, Nottingham were always tough. Belfast look like they're going to be a real strong team this year. Coventry, like we played last night, look real good. And I think Braehead was along with the travel as well. But I think there's every team. I think this year it's going to be a lot more tougher than it was last year. I think there's a solid 6-7 teams that are going to be every night. It's going to be a tough game. And but I think we got an advantage down here in our rink. I think the fans are great, and I think everyone hates coming to our rink. So, I mean, I think if you asked any team, any other player in our league, I think they'd say they hate coming to Cardiff. And, I think that's a positive for us. And I think, it's only going to help us down the road.
Excellent stuff. Sam Smith and Brent Pope from the Cardiff Devils. Thanks very much for joining us on Devils Talk this week.